Welcome to a wrinkly new episode of the Demonic Compendium, the show where I discuss the mythology, design, and game history of your favorite Megami Tensei demons. I don't know about you all, but it's pretty cold right now where I live, so I've got to wear a lot of extra layers for warmth. I just hope I don't die in all these extra layers, cause today, we're talking about Datsue-ba. Datsue-ba is a demon from Japanese mythology whom people meet after they die. She sits and waits for souls on the Sanzu riverbed, a river all newly departed souls must cross after their death, similar to the river Styx from Greek mythology. Her Compendium entry from Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne describes her as a demoness in Japanese mythology. She rips the clothes off those crossing the river Sanzu who don't have the money to pay the boat fare. She then hangs them on the tree and ryoju to weigh their sin. While this is all true, there's quite a bit more to this haggish woman's role greeting freshly departed souls. For starters, you better hope you're not naked when you die, because if you show up to the Sanzu River in your birthday suit, Datsue-ba still has to rip something off. So say goodbye to your skin. Granted, you probably don't need it once you're dead, but still, I have to imagine showing up to the afterlife with no skin is probably pretty embarrassing. The weight of your clothes or skin or whatever gets ripped off will lower the branch of the tree a certain amount. Depending on how heavy your sins in life weigh the branch down determines which of the three paths of the Sanzu River your spirit will be allowed to cross. These three paths are presumably similar to the more Western traditions of a heaven, purgatory, and hell type of afterlife, including Yomi, the Japanese underworld. A few other accounts of Datsue-ba's nastiness comes from her treatment of children. As legend goes, they're too young to have built up any real heavy sins, so Datsue-ba instructs the souls to build large mounds of pebbles, but as they make progress, she'll gleefully knock them down, forcing them to start over. Rather than be trapped for eternity, these souls will eventually be rescued by the hero Jizo. Some records say that simply paying Datsue-ba off will allow souls to skip the clothes weighing process, similar to paying the Greek boatman Charon. But only if the deceased was buried with enough money, and in some cases Datsue-ba works with a partner, Kaneo, who performs the act of actually putting the clothes on the tree. The weight of the sins can also affect what torture or punishment Datsue-ba will inflict upon the deceased, such as shoplifters having their fingers broken. The actual design of Datsue-ba may not be anything particularly interesting in and of itself, but a peculiarity as to how her design was incorporated into the games is worth discussing. Datsue-ba's design is that of an old Japanese woman. She's portrayed as very old, haggish if you will, wears a white ceremonial robe, and has crazy matted white hair. Even her posture reflects her mythology of sitting on the riverbed. A major connection to her relationship to the dead is that adorning her head is a sotoba, a traditional Japanese wood engraved tablet. Kazuma Kaneko once said that when designing this demon, he actually intended for her to use the sotoba as a weapon in her attack animations, but I guess that just didn't work out. As you may have already caught on by now, what makes Datsue-ba's design interesting is the complete disconnect between her artwork and her in-game model. In her artwork, Kaneko made her noticeably haggish, with many of the features I mentioned earlier highlighted in their own way. Skin, hair, robes were all separated in a way that makes them visibly stand out. Whereas in-game, Datsue-ba's model is an alteration on another demon, Yomotsu Shikome, with a few changes to her features, color, and actual posture. The interesting thing about this is that Yomotsu Shikome's Devil Summoner design actually resembles Datsue-ba quite a bit, but we'll talk about her another day. I tried to look into what the actual characters on Datsue-ba's tablet mean, if anything, but I wasn't able to dig anything up. If you can figure out what they mean, feel free to let me know in the comments, because I was stumped. 'Cause it's wood. As far as game history goes, there isn't any. There's literally nothing. Datsue-ba is a demon of virtually no importance, having only appeared in 2 games, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne and the MMO Shin Megami Tensei Imagine, and she hasn't really brought anything to the table in either. In Nocturne, there is a Datsue-ba NPC hanging out in Shibuya where she just kinda says old people things. And should you recruit one into your team, she does feature the conversation skill HAGGLE, potentially as a nod to her river guarding role. In Shin Megami Tensei Imagine, there are a couple of Datsue-ba variations, including the Lucky Datsue-ba, who increases your character's luck stat while summoned. And should players enter a bronze level instance of the old Ichigaya Camp dungeon, boss versions of Datsue-ba will appear to fight as minions to the main boss, Kikurihime. In both games, Datsue-ba is a low-level member of the Fem race and is capable of nulling mind attacks while being weak to electricity. Will Datsue-ba ever show up again? She's been absent from Strange Journey, both Shin Megami Tensei 4 titles, and Strange Journey Redux, but who knows, maybe Shin Megami Tensei 5 on the Switch will bring this little old river lady back from the dead. And maybe her model will actually match her artwork this time. And so there you have it, Datsue-ba, the judgy geriatric who's jazzed to jack your jacket off. Did I leave out something you thought was important? Was I just plain wrong about something? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to let me know who you'd like to see me talk about in future episodes. That's going to do it for this episode of the Demonic Compendium, and I'll see you next time. But be careful while you rest that a demon doesn't take over your body.